Hello, Year 11. Nice to speak to you all again. I firstly just want to say a really big thank you and well done to everyone that's sent in their non-examined assessment work just for us to look through. Just from flicking through it, it's outstanding. I'm loving seeing your design work all put together in a folder, and it's something you guys should all be really proud of, and it's 100% something you should keep. Really useful to take to interviews, depending where you want to go on to next, be it a job or further study. Okay, really useful. Personally, I've taken my portfolios off to all sorts of different things from university through to different jobs. In fact, that's my GCSE folder right there, still got it. And there is my A-level folder right there. And I'm a DT teacher. I'm pretty good at this stuff. Your work is better than what's in here, including the A-level work. Anyway, moving on. I'm going to look at computer-aided design today. I'm going to talk through sort of exam-style questions and then look at actually doing something a bit more practical. As I said here, we're going to look at upskilling you. I like the idea of by the time you get back into education next year, you've actually learned some new stuff that you can bring into, be it design technology or another subject. So, first of all, what do you consider to be the advantages and disadvantages of computer-aided design? I've seen this done as a 12-mark A-level question in the past, or I've seen it done as a 2-mark GCSE question. Have a think. Okay, here are some of my answers that I've put together. These are just bullet points. If this was moving into an A-level question, for those of you thinking of doing A-level next year, you'd be looking at explaining these in a bit more detail. But for GCSE, the bullet point answers are appropriate. So, advantages of computer-aided design. Gives you a 3D representation of a design. So instead of just seeing a picture, you can turn it around and see it from different angles. Okay. You might then say, oh, this would be useful for designing a car where you'll be able to see it from different sides. Can be changed and developed quickly. So as you start drawing something, it might take a long time to draw something, which is a disadvantage. But actually being able to edit it quickly is an advantage. Okay, and copy and paste it, save it, delete it, save, add something else, save it, go back a step, delete something. You can do really quick changes. It's easy to render, color. Okay, so make it look like a real life object, and some of the CAD work you can find images of stuff online. Blows your mind. It looks real. It looks like it's real. Okay, that's really good for selling your design to a client. Can be outputted to a machine, so computer aided manufacture, laser cutter, 3D printer, computer numeric controlled routers, lathes. There's lots of different tools out there, but obviously in school, 3D printers, laser cutters. And then you can share designs online. That's something that's really coming to the forefront right now, where people can't leave the house. Lots of things and designs being shared all over the place. You'll have seen some of the work we've done in school over the last few weeks on face shields. Those designs were actually produced. One was from the Czech Republic, or one was from a school in Lincolnshire. We've been using a variety of different designs that's been shared for free around the world, which is a massive advantage. Disadvantages: computer-aided design can be expensive to set up. For example, 2D design, that reasonably basic program you've used in school for the last few years, that's to get a school license for a year, £600. And that's quite a basic program. If you're using something like AutoCAD, which is a high-end program, we're talking thousands of pounds for a school license. It's nearly £1,000 for the individual license. So very expensive. It requires training. You have to practice. You have to get better at it. You can't just pick it up and go. Okay. I like to consider myself to be pretty good at computer-aided design. However, all the skills that I have, and same with all the other DT teachers, that's coming through practice. and trialing things out and going on training courses. It didn't just happen overnight. And then a disadvantage, which I disagree with, but it is a disadvantage, I suppose, is you can lose work. Work could go missing. I think it's the same if a piece of paper with a design on could go missing. So I wouldn't say it's a disadvantage more so than a piece of paper. So that's the pros and cons of computer-aided design. I hope you got some of those when you were having a think a moment ago. Now, going to look at software. You've got, at this point, I'm looking at 3D computer-aided design, but this works similarly for your 2D work. So in school, you'll already seen that we've got Google SketchUp, which a lot of you will have used in the last year or so to try and produce a 3D representation of your designs. SketchUp is pretty basic. You can do some really wonderful things on it, but it's not one that's easy to do the really difficult stuff. You can do basics really well, but it only gets difficult and wanting to render effectively, get the sizings right, so be really accurate on your size and dimensions, particularly if you want to output to a 3D printer or even a laser cutter. It's not always that easy. I'm thinking down in your bookend at the moment, that was a lot of really fine, difficult work to get the right sizes. And there are other programs that are a bit easier. Moving on, TinkerCAD. This is a free online program. Some of you are using it on the school computers this year, definitely saw that. I suppose the school computers have a limitation in terms of the graphics, so they were a bit dodgy in terms of how it looked. But it's a free software, which we'll look at in a bit more detail in a moment. Really basic, really straightforward to come up with 3D models. It's a bit like Minecraft, you just add blocks onto things. Then you move into Onshape and Fusion 360. Both are free. Both are professional computer-aided design programs. I've been using Fusion 360 for a while now. The more I use it, the better I get. It is pretty cool. Once you get into rendering, it is a professional program. Okay. However, there's the slightly more expensive version, AutoCAD. AutoCAD and Fusion 360 and TinkerCAD are all the same company, just a varying degree of the program. AutoCAD, we're talking thousands of pounds for the program, so we're not going to look at that. Equally, SolidWorks is the same, but we're going to look at Fusion 360 and TinkerCAD as some options for things you might want to play with. So starting with TinkerCAD. Here you can see there's the web address, tinkercad.com. Go on there and you can sign up to have a go with it. Okay, it's free, it's all online. You just use your school email. Tutorials are available on TinkerCAD, so I'm just going to click through a few slides to talk you through TinkerCAD. So here we have TinkerCAD. When you log on to that web page, and all you need to do is go to Join Now in the top corner. You go in there, fill in your details, name, school email address, you create your own password, and then you can have a go. Seems to be pretty straightforward. Once you're in there, you'll end up with a screen that looks the same as what my screen looks like at the top. What I've clicked here is I've gone to the Learn tab, okay, at the top. Okay, just circling that in yellow, although it's coming out as green. And here you'll have a number of tutorials. When I learned TinkerCAD, which was a couple of years ago now, I did all the tutorials in about an hour and a half. Okay, just clicked through them, had a go, and I learned enough to be able to make stuff on the 3D printer that quickly. So if you want to have a go, well, I suggest all of us have a go at getting onto TinkerCAD, get yourself logged in, and then work your way through the starters and the lessons. You can move into the projects later, but it's probably more fun to make some yourself. But there's some really interesting lessons on making sets of glasses, cufflinks, and actually, as you get developing, if you come up with something really cool and you want to have a go at 3D printing it, I have no problem whatsoever 3D printing sort of small projects for you once you're back at school. So that's TinkerCAD. Get yourself logged on, have a go. And now we'll look at Fusion 360. There's a couple of issues there though. So Fusion 360 comes from autodesk.com. Okay, and student, teacher, educators, that's the link to go on. And then there's a second link there for how to go about logging in and setting it all up. You have to sort of verify your email, click back in, download something. It takes a little bit of time to go backwards and forwards, but it's not that difficult. There is, however, a delay at the moment because the school account was meant to be set up by now and it isn't quite there. I'm just talked to them again today that they are trying to sort it for us. So you can't actually use Fusion 360 just yet, but I want to get this set up so that you can and follow the instructions we've got here. So that's what you need to do. Download the login and log in from that link there. Then the second link is some instructions. These are the instructions. As it says, a little bit more complex. Okay, I've just copied and pasted it off that link. So create an account, log in, verify your email, get access and download it. Then you have to install it. Then you go into setup, which doesn't take too long, activate Fusion 360, and then you can get started. And Fusion 360 is a really, really good program. Okay, the level of detail you can go into, it's outstanding. Okay, you can make moving parts, you could have fully rendered images that look like they're just in real life. I love it. Okay. Although I've got my own instruction manual in here. I'm going to have to show it to you. This is my instruction manual, which I'm currently working through, the Black Book of Fusion 360. It's a little bit big. Anyway, that's Fusion 360. A fellow teacher in another school has developed a tutorial activity to teach you the basic steps on Fusion. Rather than going through my big book here, they've created a step-by-step guide on how to make a Lego person. Actually, really, really good for just getting you into it and getting going. My one book goes through every single step, every single tool individually where you get to try it out, and it's boring. The Lego one, much more interesting. So have a go at that. That's going to be attached to this work as well. Obviously, you'll have to just wait until we've got the log-on details going. For anybody thinking of doing product design next year, I really suggest you spend some time over the summer holidays looking at Fusion 360, just playing with it. It's worth it. Okay, it'll put you a step ahead, ready for September. Anyway, thank you, and I hope you're all well, and I look forward to hearing how you get on with this later. Take care. Bye-bye.